Hey Sippers, I'm Renee.
I'm Martia.
And I'm Demetrius.
And we are Sip and Unwind, a true crime podcast. Hey Sippers, hey ladies.
Hey ladies, hey Sippers.
What it do? Woo woo.
Woo woo.
True Crime Tuesday,
we are back for another episode.
Right.
Exactly.
Sure is. On a Tuesday. What does it go down on Tuesday? You know how the song go? Or is it not Tuesday?
It's going down on a Tuesday.
Okay, I'm right.
It's going up on a Tuesday.
Oh
damn.
Okay, hey ladies. So how you guys doing? How we doing this week?
Okay.
We good?
We good.
Yeah, no
Demetrius,
complaints.
we getting better? You're good?
I am almost at 100.
There
I'm going
you
to say
go.
like 88%.
You're gonna be good for season 4.
Okay, I'll be
Yes,
good.
exactly.
You will be good for season 4. That's
I'll be good
that lingering,
Y'all don't get bronchitis. Okay,
Ah.
Sippers, just don't get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it
We've been
stays
battling that for a
with you.
minute now, child. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Gosh, well,
Ugh.
hopefully you feel better soon.
They said it's the Georgia weather in the season, so
Oh.
I guess I just have to suffer for a moment.
Poor thing.
All right. Well, I know something that will help you though. Our drink.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So today's featured drink, sippers and ladies, is called the strawberry and lemonade cocktail. And it's a simple drink. I mean, you can guess kind of what's in there. Strawberry lemonade. And
That's so
of course
good.
it has my other favorite alcoholic drink, vodka.
Vodka.
I love me some vodka. I can do
Gotta love the
all day.
vodka.
I can do me the vodka all day. So yeah,
That's
just
right.
strawberry and lemonade and vodka. So pretty simple, but sippers, if you guys need the recipe, you can go to our Instagram or our Facebook page and it will show the ingredients and pictures of what it looks like. And hopefully you'll enjoy your own. And if you do, please take a picture and tag us, hashtag us, whatever. Just put us out there.
Right.
We'll love to
We'll
shout you guys
repost it.
out. We will.
Well, I have a little extra in my glass, so I hope this episode is really good.
I mean, I'm telling you, all of our episodes are doozies. I just think all of
Right.
them they just are doozies. So before we begin speaking on this week's true crime, we want to acknowledge the people that these crimes have left a lasting impact on. We also want to send our heartfelt sympathy to not only the survivors, but also the loved ones and friends of all the victims we are about to discuss in today's episode. So now let's get to the true crime of the week. So, ladies, we're going to Billings, Montana on this episode. I don't
Is this our first taste of
Montana.
I don't know. I don't think I've done Montana.
Okay.
Have y'all ever physically been to Montana?
No, ma'am.
I haven't either. I would love
I have
to go
no
now.
desire. You said you want to go?
I want to go.
Have no desire.
No desire to go to Montana.
Mm-mm.
What?
No. Same as I don't want to go to North
Like,
Dakota,
what's there? What
South
do you-
Dakota.
I know they're
I
known
don't-
for cheese.
They
Like,
got
what else
buffaloes,
they-
right? Isn't that where the buffalo?
Yeah.
Mm.
What do
Got
you
the
wanna go
ranchers
for?
and stuff.
Girl, cheese is Wisconsin.
Oh, that's what's going.
You close though. You close, boo.
Oh,
You close.
God, I don't want to see Wisconsin either. So
Mm-mm.
yeah,
Right.
that.
So I'm only saying it because I've only hit 25 states, so I would love to add them to my list.
Okay, look at you
Okay.
putting the little
You
dots on
can.
your little map there.
Okay.
Chew. All right. So we are going to discuss the case of Lindsey Haugen. So Lindsey grew up in Portland, Oregon. So in high school, she started to become very rebellious by smoking weed and hanging out. Seems like they all have the same kind of story. So smoking weed and hanging out with the wrong type of people. At age 15, Lindsey ran away from home and started living on the streets of Portland. So you can imagine the type of people she encountered during that time phase, when she's 15 and on the street. So then she started doing whatever drugs she was able to get her hands on, and she started getting into heavier and heavier drugs. And she actually started injecting meth at age 15. And that quickly led to a heroin addiction next. And then, after that, she was just a full-blown addict on the street by the age of 16 in Portland. At age 17, she was pregnant. That's when she stopped doing drugs and she returned home and gave birth to her son. Then she enlisted into the National Guard. So her son stayed with her mother during the time where she was in service. In 2013, she met an Army man, but from the beginning, things didn't go well in that relationship. He was a heavy drinker, and when he drank, he became very abusive. He would spit food at her, pour beer on her head. He raped her and called her unspeakable names. One time he got in a fight with her, or one time they got into a fight, and he grabbed her hands and squeezed them until her hand broke in his hand. He then proceeded to choke her until she passed out. She did survive this incident, and he was arrested for the attack on her. She left the service the same year that incident happened to her, unfortunately. So now, she's out of the service, and with nothing to do, she began to drink on a regular basis, like every day, just get drunk. And in August of 2015, she met a guy named Robby Mast at a house party. Robby was fresh out of rehab. He had just got out of rehab June of that same year of 2015. Robby was a drifter with no place to stay. She offered him a place to stay with her, but he didn't want to stay there with her because he wanted to be, quote, free, a free spirit or something like that, because he was just a drifter. So she, left with him because they just hit the streets because he just wanted to keep traveling and keep going places. So she left her house, they got into a car and then they just hit the road. So they headed up to Montana. So on the way there, she said that Robby was just keep saying how he just wasn't happy with life and he didn't want to see the next day. And, he was just unfortunately that he was, unable to get happy. He seen that she was happy, but he says that he was kind of jealous of it because he could never be that way. He just was just an unhappy person and didn't want to live anymore. They also talked about how he was telling her that he just wanted to die all the time. So Lindsey said that one day he told her again, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired and I just want to die. So she said that she knew a way to do it without hurting him. She said that he'd go unconscious and wouldn't wake up. She claimed that he was elated by her willingness to help, in his life. So he said, okay. They slept on it. So they went to sleep that night. And the next morning when they woke, she was thinking, okay, that was just yesterday. He was just talking, whatever. But then he told her, I still want this to happen. I still want you to kill me, So they sat in the parking lot in Montana at the Walmart parking lot at that. And they was getting drunk. So they was just drinking, sitting in the car, drinking, getting more and more drunk. And so she said that he often made like the shooting self motion, that motion of, you put the gun to your head, like you're trying to shoot it, She said he would often make those motions to his head about shooting himself. Yikes. And she said, so she said, okay, well, do you still want to die? Is that what you want to do? And he says, yes. And she, double checked, triple checked. And she said that he just kept saying that that's what he wanted. So after he confirmed on September 15th, 2015, 26 days, this is just 26 days after they met, because they just met in, August, that previous month. She put her arms around his neck and started to strangle him. She squeezed until he started seizing when he was unconscious. Then he became unconscious. What? Exactly. This is crazy. So, then he went unconscious and then she got in front of him and covered his nose and mouth with her hand and kept his chin up so he couldn't breathe. Even if he was strangling or trying to push her away, she still was holding him so that he couldn't breathe. So during this time, he was gasping for air and foaming at the mouth. And she still was, kept her hands over his mouth and nose and strangling him. So she then fastened his seatbelt. She put him back in his seat, fastened his seatbelt, and she left the Walmart parking lot and went to another parking lot. So due to them drinking, in that Walmart parking lot, she was very drunk, and then, she was driving erratically. So that's when someone called the police about her driving. So the police was alerted to, look for this vehicle because it was driving erratically. And so once she got to the other parking lot, she unfastened his seatbelt and she put him on the center console. And that's when she heard a knock on the door, on the window. And it was the police. And they were called due to her driving. And Robby had died at that point. So the whole story of this is that he said that he wanted to die. She said that she can do it for him. She would choke him, strangle him, and it will be the end of it. So I don't, it kind of sounds a little fishy, you guys. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a strange story.
That's what she says what happened. But during the investigation, the police asked her for, what she was planning on doing with the body. Like after she killed him, what was her plan? What was you trying to do? Like, what would you do after, after he's dead in the car? What are you going to do? So she said she was going to just find an isolated spot and dump him and then go back home. Like, how caring is that? I don't know. But so after the police told her that they didn't believe her story, she said, because they have her in the interrogation room and they just keep talking to her and just telling her, that just doesn't make sense. That just does not add up. People usually don't, ask somebody to kill them like that and just tell them to strangle them, and then that's just it. So then she said, and it's on tape, she says, well, I just wanted to kill somebody with my bare hands, honestly. So she kind of confessed to saying, right. So she kind of confessed saying, hey,
What?
I just kind of wanted to see how it was like, even though she set up this whole story of Robby asking her to kill him. But then she says, I just want to kill somebody with my bare hands, honestly.
Wow.
And those are quotes. So also in the interrogation room, she was explaining how her ex-boyfriend also, he choked her until she passed out. Remember I was saying about the abusive ex-boyfriend.
Right. So she was just doing what was done to her.
Right. And so she says, and this is in quote, she says she just wanted to do that back to somebody. And she saw the opportunity with Robby. So I think she was just planning this all along, just trying to find somebody to, I guess, kill with her bare hands.
Wow, this is sad.
That's heartbreaking.
Right.
Yeah, kill with her bare hands because this was only 26 days after she met Robby. So this is not even like somebody who she had this long relationship with and caring and all that. It was just, seems like it was just, she just found the opportunity. So there was no trial. Lindsey pled guilty to deliberate homicide and was sentenced to 60 years in prison. And she'll be considered for parole after serving only a quarter of her time. So that's about 15 years of her time in jail, which is pretty light, it seems. I don't know, after serving only a quarter of your time. Yeah, so she's in prison right now. But the crazy part about this is Lindsey has a good relationship with Robby's mother and his stepfather. So yeah, like crazy.
Like now?
Yes. So she has a relationship with Robby's mother and his stepfather, like a good relationship. They showed it on, if you sippers and ladies, if you look at I Am Killer on Netflix, this case is on here where Lindsey is, telling her story, and you can see where she was saying where she wanted to just kill somebody with her bare hands. But they also showed how her relationship with Robby's mom and stepfather is like pretty good. Like they sit there and have phone calls with her, like video calls. They time it and like, oh, she's calling right now. It's the time, so they get in front of their computer.
Disturbing.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to watch this show.
Yeah. And then they were like really happy to see her. And then they asked her to sing for them. And then she sang a song for them.
Sing?
Yes. Like they wrote each other, they write each other, they keep in touch. They call all the time, which is really weird.
I wonder, like, are they just like, oh, she was so young when that happened, we forgive her? Like, this is a part
maybe
where
they
I wish
just
our
trying to use her.
could, like, bring guests on so we can ask questions like, why are you still in touch with her?
Oh, wow.
Right.
Did nobody ask that during the documentary that you watched?
Well, they were saying that they will just have, like she just wanted to keep in touch with her and make sure, because they said that they didn't think that Lindsey was a bad person.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like they knew that their son had problems. Like he battled, alcoholism. He was a drug addict and he battled depression too. So he had some stuff going on with him. And so he was in and out of rehab and, all that kind of stuff too. So he had
talk about forgiving.
Yeah.
I would haunt my parents if they kept in touch with someone who was accused of
You said you would haunt your girl?
I would haunt
you sure would, wouldn't you? You probably mean that too.
I'm so serious.
Okay.
Like that is crazy that they have this. Well, I ain't gonna say it's crazy because I don't understand it, so I don't want to just say it's crazy because I don't get it.
But forgiveness.
That's just
right. I mean, that's like 100% forgiveness right there.
And we were just speaking on episode 70 on what is unforgivable, and we said kids, and it looks like right here for her, it's not. It's not if you mess with my kids.
Or they could be like connected to her, like trying to have memories of their son, maybe.
Probably,
I don't know.
I mean, the thing is,
him.
I'm about to say she don't even know him. She didn't know him long enough.
Really know each other exactly.
She didn't even know him long enough. She knew him less than a month.
But she knew him long enough to take his life.
I mean, you don't really have to know people that long to do that either. But
well, that's true. But I maybe for them it's some kind of connection.
Probably.
Because
Yeah.
that's just
Clearly.
weird.
Yeah.
To me, it's weird. No judgment, but just weird.
It's a little judgment here, but
We're
it's weird.
judging. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. It's a little
Just
weird.
odd. That's just odd.
It is, but I mean, I guess,
And to have her sing, like, what are you
Mhm.
singing to me for? Like,
Yeah. It was really weird, but I mean, I guess if that helps his mother, feel closer to Robby,
right,
or
right.
because I guess having hate in your heart would kind of, I don't even know how to,
I know, but we don't need to
deal with
talk.
that. So I guess, I mean, it
Yeah.
might make them better. I don't know, but so she's still in touch with him, but Robby's father and his stepmother on, the father's side, and then his other siblings do not contact Lindsey at all. Don't want to have anything to do with her. Won't speak to her, and they didn't like the episode of I Am Killer because they didn't want to bring any kind of light to her. They don't want anything like that, So it's like polar opposites of how they feel
Okay.
on the mother and the father.
Mm.
So yeah, but and then they also said that they just think that the mother and her husband, the stepfather, just have a relationship with Lindsey and is on this I Am Killer TV show just for attention as well. So who knows? But I guess, I mean, you deal with grief how you deal with grief. I just
Right.
don't get it. I don't get it.
That's
But
very unique.
it
That's very
is.
unique.
It is. So yeah. So she's in prison for 60 years and will get out in 15. I think she went to prison in 2015, 2016-ish. So she's been there for a little bit. So she should be out soon. It shouldn't be that long. I mean, if they're only doing 15 years. But yeah, so that is the end of the Lindsey Haugen case. So we have a couple of quickies after this, and I just want to know if you guys can relate to this at all. So I'm going to read this story. I'm not sure if you heard about this recently, but a Michigan woman is charged after allegedly stealing items from Walmart by not scanning all of her items at the self-checkout. Did you hear about that story?
I did, but I didn't read the details.
Yeah, same here. I heard about it, but I didn't read the details.
Okay, so this story it says, police say the 34-year-old, and these names, I cannot get them. Teddy Jo Marie Flame, it's probably Flame, Fliam, Flame, was using the self-checkout at Alpena County Walmart when loss prevention workers noticed she wasn't scanning every item. Teddy Jo became agitated and she denied that she was skipping items when confronted by the loss prevention worker and left the store. The incident caused the store to review its surveillance footage, which it showed that she had stolen more than $1,000 in merchandise by not scanning it from the Walmart since April of that year. Yeah, she kind of had like a racket going on because she was doing it for a while. And I guess it was, since technology is so doggone advanced, they can find every time that she was there and match it back to the video, of every time that she checked out. So Teddy Jo was arrested at her home last month and was charged with first-degree retail fraud. The Walmart's loss prevention team has recently begun to crack down on thefts at the self-checkout, with Michigan State Police recording 2 similar incidents in which people were arrested after swapping barcodes while checking out items. Walmart began using artificial intelligence to crack down on self-checkout thieves in 2019, using cameras to make sure every item that has been bagged was scanned. The system, known internally as missed scan detection, can monitor both self and manned checkout stations and reports potential missed scans. Have y'all ever not scanned an item at self-checkout?
I may or may not be guilty of such a thing.
On purpose? No. Ooh. Was it something good?
And it might or might not have been a Walmart store.
Oh, wait a minute.
Was it grocery or was it?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
And it was like, if I had done this was like an OJ type of deal here. I
right.
Just figuratively speaking, if I had done it would have been 2 full overflowing carts of groceries and snacks, some food, and it may or may not have been a partner. May have been more than one person involved in this.
What the hell?
Oh my gosh! Can you give us details or no?
And it may or may not have been a long time ago. So,
oh my gosh!
Save your judgment for your mama, because this ain't no recent may or may not have story. This is a long time ago.
We're just speaking in hypothetics.
What am I listening to? Like, what?
Yeah. When I saw that lady's picture and her mugshot, I thought, man, that could have been me. But I'm glad it wasn't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad it wasn't too.
I'm glad too. Oh my gosh. Demetrius, how about you then? Goodness.
The ghetto.
I did not think that I would get that answer.
I have never done that. I'm such a double back person. Go back, make sure that's on the receipt. So no, haven't been that bold.
Okay, so I have, but not on purpose. Like it has been incidents where I realized after I've left out of the store that I see something, I'm like, oh, I forgot to scan it at the bottom. Like it was like under a bag after I put some other stuff in, and stuff like that.
Now, are you the person that will go back to the store and be
like, no, hey, if you don't catch me, if you don't catch me, you ain't catching me.
That'll be me. I go back in.
Really? Oh, no, I wouldn't go back.
Serious?
I would go back.
And you would go back in, get back in line?
Yeah. I'm a sucker. I would.
Wow. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. But I'm really intrigued with Martia, and I want to know a little bit more. I mean, so tell me how much was the bill, and how much do you think you got?
A couple $100, and I didn't get anything because, like I said, I may or may not have done it.
Yeah. So if you would have,
it would have. Listen,
but how much?
Listen, Linda. Listen.
Look, hypothetically, how much was the total on the register?
Probably like $50.
Girl,
listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
And then it was so ghetto because it was like, okay, it's not like people started off trying to do what they did. Really? But then it was like, hey, let's see if this works. Yeah. Next thing you know, we're like
know
pushing.
That was not at a Whole Foods.
It was Walmart. Next thing you know, we're like zooming real fast through the parking lot trying to load that shit up in the car. Kids in tow.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Y'all get y'all ass over here and hurry up and load this car up.
Oh man. Oh, I'm so glad you ain't get caught, because good Lord,
you know how crazy that would have been. That is crazy. Right. But yeah, I hate that I even told y'all that story. But well, not you two ladies, but the sippers, they probably gonna judge me or whatever. But anyway,
come back later.
It will be a judgment
that
zone.
Was like
going
the
on.
old me or whatever. I would never do that today. But me and the person I was with still laugh about that to this day. Like, child.
I'm just so glad you ain't get caught. Oh my goodness.
Because when you get caught doing stuff like that and you got kids, them kids going straight to defect. But when you do stuff like that, you don't even think about like the consequences, like the big picture.
Oh my God.
I mean, especially with cart.
Ooh. And I'm almost sure we went and had a barbecue afterwards. Like, we
you should have. Shoot.
Well, okay.
Dang.
Okay. Judge your mama.
So I have a question with that then. At Walmart, you know how the people stand at the door and they be checking the receipts? Mm-hmm. Y'all be showing the receipts?
Yeah, because they only check the receipts to mainly, like, if it's something that's not in the bag. I learned that part. Like, we made sure everything was in the bag so that you wouldn't, as long as everything's in the bag, they don't want to hold their receipt in their hand.
Right.
So once we saw that, we said, oh, bitch, put that big old box in a bag so they don't want to ask, so they don't want to ask to see the receipt for the items that's not in the bag. But I always show my receipt to the people at the door, but they don't typically look at it though.
How about you,
Demetrius? Something that's not in the bag.
I show my receipts because I've been in areas where they actually have like that little highlighter pen and marking. Like, dude, you think I'm gonna walk out of here with a 60-inch television? Like, you really marking
that
at
all. Sam's and BJ's. They take that little
you
marker.
Really marking?
I don't show them my receipt.
What you be doing?
What do you do?
I just walk right by. I walk right by.
Wow.
No, thank you. I sure do. Wow. And that man knows me every time, because it'd be the same man at my Walmart that I go to, and he know every time I walk by, every time he'd be like, ma'am.
So that works.
I'm like, oh, hey, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. Oh, no, thank
No,
you.
thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay,
Girl,
I'm gonna
please.
start using that.
You can't stop me.
No, thank you.
Unless you're gonna accuse me of something. I mean, as much money as I spend in Walmart, I probably spent over the years probably tens of thousands of dollars. No, you're not gonna check my receipt. I paid for it. I mean, unless you're gonna accuse me.
But man, Renee, you got me going way, way, way back. Like me and you got some stories.
Girl, don't bring me up into your stuff. What you talking about, sis? What you talking about? You said you got stories.
You actually just mentioned something on the episode recently about one of your retail jobs.
Oh, yeah.
You had stuff.
Yeah, I used to work at work.
Oh no, it's nothing to spill. It's nothing to spill. I mean, there's other stuff. There is other stuff too, but yeah, Renee don't care.
No more.
Yeah, exactly.
But girl, I had everything accurate in my house.
Then there was Macy's or Riches, whatever it was back in the day. Remember that?
We used to get our outfits for the clubs. Oh my gosh, we used to tuck that tag in. Oh, we used to buy like 4 or 5 outfits at a time and bring all that right back.
Not even that, but we would actually like take we went and got outfits without paying before too.
Did we?
Like, yes, you were the lookout. And
how did y'all get past the clip on the clothes?
I don't think they had the clips on the clothes like that.
In the color stain.
Because one of our coworkers used to go to the store with her little boys and put stuff in her little cart, her stroller.
Oh.
And told us whatever.
That, but I don't remember who that was. Like I can't.
Oh, I won't say her name.
Yeah, don't say. Yeah,
because she listens to the podcast, or she be on our page. Let me just say that. And
that
so
sounds familiar.
And did something a few times, and we were successful at it.
Girl.
So yeah, maybe that's why we're all into true crime, because we were criminals back in the day.
That's what I'm saying about my fingerprints. I told y'all about them fingerprints. You're not about to take my fingerprints unless.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
We were sharp though, going to 559 and wherever else we went with our little tuck tags and stolen outfits.
The gate, all them. All the clothes. Just tucking the tag. We used to bring that thing back all sweaty.
I was going to ask you, did y'all do returns? You did a return.
We were
definitely did. Like that is exactly why we took that tag.
We were broke because we didn't never go to work. We used to skip work all the time and go out to the mall.
I would get my hair done, get my nails done, and either steal my outfit or take it back the next day, whichever one.
As long as you have a tag on, they will take it right back.
I feel like Demetrius
she's judging us. She really is. That's why she's real quiet.
She probably be like, I'll find out something new about these crazy folks. You ain't never stole nothing?
No.
Oh my God. You never took back an outfit after you wore it, like you tucked in because you knew you was gonna take it back?
No.
Oh my God. Whatever.
I promise you,
I don't believe you.
You know why? Because in my mind, I would be the person that would go immediately to jail.
Yeah,
my mind.
It wouldn't be jail if you.
When they say your mind is a terrible thing, my mind would be like, "Bitch, you touch it."
But you don't go to jail for taking clothes back. It was not.
And when I did or did not like shoplift or whatever, it's not like I was taking or not taking like lots and lots of stuff at one time. No,
you were just borrowing at the time.
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way. But like if somebody would have grabbed me up, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" They not taking nobody to jail for no little $50 outfit or whatever. Like,
right. I don't know. In my mind, I just couldn't do
it. Okay. Well, talking about stealing.
Oh, Lord.
Have you ever thought about stealing a house?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Okay. So that's my next story that I have on here. So this is from the New York Post, and the title is "Squatters Move into Maryland Home on the Same Day a Couple Buys It and They Won't Leave." So I've heard about these damn squatters. But listen to this crazy stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah, so a Maryland couple claim a group of strangers have moved into their recently purchased home and are refusing to leave. The pair had just signed a contract on their new house in Clinton, Maryland on October 20th, 2022, when they decided to drive by to take a look at their house. You don't have to just buy a house and you're not ready to move in, but they just drove by it just to see it and, to celebrate the purchase. So when they drove by the house, they were shocked to find a U-Haul truck in the driveway and people moving in. that day.
That's crazy.
And now the strangers won't leave. They claim they signed a lease for the house, according to, the people who was investigating this. They said that they signed a lease and they're not leaving. Can you imagine? I'm just thinking of the shock that after I bought a house, I got the key and you're not ready to move in, but you want to drive by.
Be going to jail that
you
day.
Just want to drive by.
That's crazy.
And you see a U-Haul with people moving in, and then they say they're not leaving.
The sad part is your mortgage is still due.
Oh my God.
And squatters have rights. Like squatters have more rights than I thought they did. Like you really have to go through like an eviction process. And that is wild to me. Like,
and then it has to be the owner of that home, which is the bank. That has to put them out.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. So it says the couple, they're the legal owners of the home, which they bought from the bank. And it was, it was foreclosed on. It was a foreclosure that they bought, but they bought it from the bank. Everything signed and it's theirs legally. The squatters moved in. They put up signs. They put up 2 signs. One sign says private property, and the other one says beware of dog.
That's crazy. I hate laughing at this because that's somebody's pain or whatever, but that's crazy.
The nerve. They put up a private property and a beware of dog signs in their yard. And so
it would have been a full-on brawl in their front yard. Like, I know people don't fight no more. They be pulling out guns. But I'm just saying, like, we would have been family to family in that yard. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the realtor says, that she was saying right now her clients are, they're, of course, highly upset. And they know, they don't know what to do at this point. But she says she'd let them know that it shouldn't take long for it to be addressed. She's hoping. But the owners called the police on the squatters. But, the police told them, hey, it's a civil matter for the sheriff to deal with. It's a civil thing when squatters are in the house. So, yeah. So once the police were on site, they took a look at the lease and it didn't look accurate. It didn't look like a real lease. But it was nothing they can do when somebody has moved. Like the police can't put you out. It'll have to be like you have to take them to court and evict them, I guess, or something like that. Or however.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The bank has to,
the bank has to get involved.
They have to change some laws or something. Where it's just like how, like
because they pulled up with a U-Haul. Like I'm still back at that part of the story.
And put a private property sign.
And do squatters turn the electricity on nowadays? Because back in the day, squatters were also stealing electricity.
I heard
stealing cables, stealing water.
I heard that it's probably electricity was probably already still on because usually, when you buy a house, usually usually when they, the previous owner leaves it on for like 2 weeks or so, or a few weeks before it's transferred over, because you don't want it to be off when you move in. But I don't know how that happens. I don't know. So, I guess they'd probably be fine without electricity if they didn't buy the house. They still get to live in a nice, well, I don't know if it's nice, but they get to live in a house, So, yeah, but just looking at this, it was just like, you really stole a house. But I looked at they have other stories on squatters, and I'm not going to read every one of these news articles on squatters, but here's just some of the titles of the other squatter issues. So it says a squatter with a fake lease won't leave a Chicago woman's home and the cops are powerless. That's one story. Here's another story, another article that they wrote. Elderly man in hospital is forced to sell his home after squatters refuse to leave. Like, excuse me? So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but I've heard of that a lot, about the squatters coming in and you can't.
Here in Georgia, they be squatting in them mansions.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they
wait a minute, that's
and you
bold.
can't kick them out. Like, they have to change something where it's just like, no, that's not. Yeah. Because we'd be fighting. We would be fighting. Like, I would park right in front there. I would sit right on that. It would be a
brawl.
We would be in that house together.
Yeah.
Together. Like, I'm breaking the window and sitting and getting in there. And we just gonna sit.
And the more people that hear about squatting, the more people that's going to continue to do it.
Yeah, because it seems like, even if they're kicked out like several months later, several weeks later, because you have to, take them to court and do all that, legal stuff. So they can't just get out right then and there. But the nerve, like they got a U-Haul and putting their stuff in their house.
Well, check this out. Just to interject on that story, this happened like early part of this year. A woman in California went on a 2-month vacation because she's a traveler.
Oh man, came back to somebody's
came back,
house.
and someone was living in her home.
Oh my gosh,
that's terrible.
And she couldn't get him out.
Can't get him out. That's horrible. You come back home,
and in her case, all her personal belongings is in there.
And guess what they did with it?
What?
Took it out and burned it in the backyard.
Get out! Are you serious?
Yes, all her family. She said, antique family photos she can't get back. Her documents. No. Yeah, that's horrible.
I heard that story, but I didn't know the details. That is tragic.
That's I almost cried for her. I was like, this is what if we go on a week vacation and somebody noticed you're not coming and going in your home, and you come back and somebody just in your home.
I just don't know how they can't just lawmaker.
How did right? Exactly. I want to know from a lawmaker, like, how did the squatters end up having more rights than the homeowner? Right. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, and then
got to be like some kind of back history to that.
The thing is, you can't like stop making payment because you're not living there, because that will. I mean, you can, but that will mess up your credit and your.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and then you can go to jail and you can get sued, and it's horrible.
Who wants to deal with all that? So, y'all be careful. I mean, it looks like it might have to be like a shootout or something going on to get somebody up out your house. But then you want to really
go to jail.
Go to jail for it's just. Oh yeah. Okay. So y'all be careful. So I have one more story. I'll read the title. German doctor who killed his married lover by sprinkling cocaine on his penis before having oral sex is ordered to pay £11,500 to cover the cost of medics' doomed bid to save her life.
What?
Yeah. So.
Read that one more time.
Read it one more time
for the people in the back.
I'll do it a little slower so you guys can. Yeah, because I was just like, what? Okay. So a German doctor who killed his married lover by sprinkling cocaine on his penis before having oral sex, he's ordered to pay £11,500, like British pounds, to cover the cost of the medic's doomed bid to save her life. All right, so let me read the story. So, a top German doctor who was jailed for killing his married lover by sprinkling cocaine on his penis before she performed oral sex on him has been ordered to pay £11,500 to cover the cost of, the EMS people, the medics, because they tried to save her life. So he had to pay like his insurance stuff and all that for just them trying to save her life. So $11,500, which doesn't seem much, but yeah. So Dr. Andreas, he's 46 years old and was jailed for 9 years in 2019 for aggravated rape and bodily harm, leading to the death after making his lover, identified as Yvonne M., age 38, take an overdose of cocaine that he has laced on his private parts. So during his trial, Andreas had claimed that Yvonne, who died after suffering shortness of breath and collapsing, knew that he had put cocaine on his penis before she performed oral sex on him. But a German court rejected those claims, and now a judge in Germany has ruled that Andreas must pay the £11,500, which is about $13,000 US, to medics insurers IKK Gessen Plus, who paid for Yvonne's medical treatment before she died. Andreas had previously refused to pay Yvonne's family the £25,000 in compensation, with $9,000 each going to the dead woman's husband and her son, and a further £7,000 going to her family to cover the funeral costs. So he was already ordered to pay the £25,000, but he refused to pay that. So he ended up only having to pay that $11,500 just for the insurers that paid for her, her treatment before she actually passed away. What are your guys' thoughts on this? You guys are awfully quiet.
I'm very speechless. I have no words either.
What do you guys say about this?
I have nothing to say.
Have you heard of something like that?
No.
I have not. No, not at all. I was thinking, well, I don't even know. I don't have anything to say. That's crazy.
I have them speechless, sippers.
Yeah, honestly, I just feel like it's a tragedy in so many ways.
Yeah, the thing is that she was married.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Married,
yeah, so that does.
You gotta bury your spouse, and then you see the controversy behind how they passed away, and then you got a kid.
Can you imagine a son growing up with this headline for his mama and why she's not here.
Right.
Like, what do you say when they say, what happened to your mom?
Oh.
And was her face attached to the article?
Yes, it was.
Oh my gosh.
It was.
Yeah, like I said, I have no words. That is
like, can you imagine? I mean, like a little boy, 15 years old, or even a grown man at 30.
Right.
They ask how your mother passed away, or you get on the subject of your mother being moved on. What do you say? Like, you don't be like, well, she died from giving oral, or even if you can't say she died of an overdose, because then they'd be like, oh, she was a druggie. Like, no, she was tricked into giving oral sex to a dude who put cocaine on his penis,
who was evil.
Do you say that? Like, no,
right? He was evil.
She was,
and then like cocaine doesn't have a taste. Like, is it tasteless? Because I wonder how far she had gotten into the act
where she knew.
She ever realized? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just wow.
So I mean, I don't know. I can see both sides. I can see where it was something where that she knew what was going to happen, or that she knew that it happened, and then she didn't. Because I mean, I can probably see it. Maybe their plan that happens. You put it on there, and that just like cream or other things. But you probably didn't realize how much was on there. Perhaps could have been
okay. I see where you're going with that.
So it could have been that, or it could have been that he hid that and didn't let her know that he was putting it on there. I don't know. I can see both ways.
I can see both scenarios.
Yeah. Right. But it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that got me speechless.
That everybody knows it. And her picture was on the article too. And
that is so hard. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
It is. Like, how do you explain that? Like, you kind of just don't. You just kind of, that's horrible though. But yeah, so yeah, he's ordered to pay money while he's still in jail for 9 years.
As he should.
Yeah, as he should. So I'm leaving you sippers with that. So with that, we have come to the end of the episode, sippers.
Oh,
and ladies.
No.
Yeah.
Time goes by so fast every single time.
That was a doozy on that one, that last story. That kind of, when I read that, I was just like...
Yeah, because I'm speechless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
It's crazy, but yeah, so... But yeah, so, sippers, until next time, we will see you guys later.
We hate
sippers.
To leave.
Yes, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. All right, bye sippers.
Ladies.
Bye, ladies.
Bye, sippers.
Bye.